Developments on a story that may further strain the relationship between the U.S. and Russia. Reports today saying that the Russians are developing a, quote, unstoppable missile. So high-tech, no other military in the world has anything like it. Why are they doing this? KT McFarland, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for President Reagan and former National Security Council staff member with me here. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Bill.
What is it capable of?
It's really a sort of upgrade of what happened before. It's got the same range as the previous missile, but it's got the ability now to sort of individually target and track. It's a cruise missile, and a cruise missile operates by having pictures in itself as it flies over of the ground. And so you can change where the route of the cruise missile goes by matching it with what it sees on the ground.
So it can change its direction, it can change its target?
And retarget.
We can do that.
Yeah, but this one is one that we don't see as easily. The important thing about it, though, is not so much the capabilities of this particular missile, is what does it say about what Russia's doing throughout its foreign policy?
Tell me about that.
It's getting much more aggressive. I mean, in the east, Russia is building a new pipeline, the Nord Stream, to deliver natural gas to Eastern and Western Europe. So that now with its southern pipeline, Russia now controls all of the energy, all of the gasoline, gas supplies to Eastern and Western Europe. It could flip that switch anytime it wants.
So it could use it as a
It absolutely has used it.
Pawn or a ploy. It has in the past.
It has with Ukraine. Remember 2 years ago when they turned it on and off? All right, so that's to Russia's west. What about, Russia's east? It's now made a new arrangement with China for a long-term oil deal with them. And as you've just pointed out, it now has a deal with India to jointly develop a missile. And in the south, when you look at Russia moving to the south, it's all over Iran. Russia is helping the Iranian nuclear program, and Russia has just told Hillary Clinton it's not helping us stop Iran.
Let me get back to that point in a moment. You say Russia's on the move. You made that quite clear. You say they really like the Cold War.
Yeah.
They just didn't like the outcome.
That's right.
Are they trying to relive that?
The Russians liked the Cold War. It was Russia and America, super colossus astride the world. And what's happened in the period since? Well, Russia's sort of fallen off this colossus thing. And so when Obama went to Moscow and he lectured Putin about the Cold War and the Cold War is over, Putin doesn't want to hear that. He liked the Cold War. You just didn't like the outcome. They want to play it again and win it.
2 points on this. Why did we drop the missile defense system then? That seemed to be welcome news in Russia.
Sure.
What did we get for
Nothing.
that?
And that's the unbelievable thing, Bill. We had this one hammer that we could have held. We had the bargaining chip of the century. That missile shield drove the Russians nuts, because to do it, we would have had American personnel in Poland and the Czech Republic right on their border. They did not want that.
So in your view, we threw the trump card and it's now on the table and it's no longer in our hand. The White House says, listen, we've got other technology. That we can build it, it can be cheaper, we can develop it faster, and we don't have to wait on this missile defense shield.
Even more of a reason to have traded it for a high price if we didn't want it. The Russians would have paid dearly to get that dropped. We just did it as a goodwill gesture. Have we gotten anything in return? No.
Right.
Are they helping with this Iran?
You
no.
mentioned Iran. Let's go to that topic now. What has Russia done to stop the nuclear program?
Nothing. Nothing. They've done nothing to stop Iran. In fact, there's evidence now that there are Russian scientists helping the Iranians. That's why the head of Israel, Netanyahu, went to Russia 2 weeks ago to try to convince them.
We had to have known that months ago, right?
Yeah, but why is Russia not? They don't have any interest now in stopping the Iranian nuclear program. They don't have any reason to be nice to us. We've just given them the best chip we had, which was that missile defense program. And the Iranians are a business proposition for them. They're helping Iran. They're selling weapons to Iran. They're selling nuclear technology to Iran.
What about the proposal that you take the lightly enriched uranium out of Iran, you take it into Russian territory, you make it highly enriched, you take it back, and all that method is supervised?
Yeah, but what does Russia do? Well, it's an okay idea, but what the problem is that then it comes back to Iran, and what does Iran have to do? It just has to enrich it a little bit further, and it's a nuclear capable. You know, enriching uranium, think about your washing machine and the spin cycle. You spin it a little longer and you get more enriched uranium. The problem with Russia, I think, right now is it's looking at the situation in the Middle East, and it's saying, if there's a war in the Middle East, if Israel attacks Iran, Iran mines the Strait of Hormuz, what happens to us? Oil prices go through the roof.
Sure they do, yeah.
And Russia
it gives Russia
oil.
a very strong hand.
So it's not necessarily against their interest.
Katie, thank you for coming
Great,
in.
Bill,
It's something that broke over the weekend, and we were quite keen on it today. I think it's interesting developing this missile with India. India's our friend, right? We've had great relations with that country.
That's why Russia is on the move. India, China, Iran, Eastern, Western Europe.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
We'll talk again later.